What's going on? What's going on? YouTube, another day, another dollar, another great Monday here. Another great day of the week. We are up almost $1,000. We're up 875. I was up 1,000, but I ended up giving some back because I was dumb. Dumb, I tell you. But anyways, with that being said, we're gonna step in here and explain exactly what happened in the market today. And we was trading NIO. And we was trading Apple. I was trading Apple first. So in the very moment, I started to trade it after we saw this little the dip, and then we were using the support. I took advantage of that. I jumped in and I collected 300 and something dollars. I think it was 319. Yep, I sold there and ended up with a profit of $300. Obviously I missed out on all this move here, but it doesn't matter because I was just going for my goal. But I mean, it's not moving a whole lot, so you know what I mean. The range was just a 0.5%, so, and it hasn't been moving a whole lot, you know, not very volatile, just $1 or $2 range. Yeah, I mean, it's been stuck here between 19 and 20, so that's like $1. That's not a whole lot of room to make money, at least if you're day trading the way I do. And then also I traded NIO. So NIO, I started trading it on the bounce of the VWAP, and then I was pretty much done at this point right here, right? But obviously I was not done because, as you can see, man, I ended up getting I was trying to go long here as well, because I went long here and I made a nice little profit here, and then I made another little profit there. But then this is when I started giving some back. I tried to take another trade for, you know, I thought we were gonna break 45.85. Wrong. Comes dips on me, and I end up losing some money there. I wait for the next bounce on the VWAP, bailed, dump. So yeah, I ended up recovering on this little double bottom right here that I saw, and then I made almost, you know, I was down to $500 again, and then I gained it back. A lot of people ask me sometimes, how do I find, or you know, how do I tell, you know, like how do I can tell that a support, or how is it overextended, or what makes you take the trade? I mean, there's so many factors, right? All right, well, I'm gonna break it down exactly what I do on day trading. I pretty much look at the level 2, the time and sales, and I look at the candle. I look at the pattern overall as well, and I look at the overall market. If the overall market is bearish, then you know there's going to be a lot of pessimism. So that means there's fear in people's hearts, and when there's fear in people's hearts, then that means that they're more likely to sell, right? So now that we got that established, I'm going to give you an example. Yeah, I mean, it's not just about buying here at the support of the VWAP, right? It's not just about that. It's about, this is exactly what I do. I look at the price action, right? If I'm gonna jump on here long, I need to see buyers. I need to see buyers being stronger than bears, and I jump in, and at the same time I has to hold these candles that is doing here like this. It's got to be holding as it's going, because if it's not, if it starts to trying to test the EMA sooner, then that pretty much gives me an indication that there's weakness. And then when there's weakness, then that means that there's going to be panic sell. And I don't want to get chopped up and being in the panic. Okay? So it's not just about buying at the VWAP. It's also about looking at the strength overall. And you look at the strength overall right here on the time and sales, and you look at the time at the level 2. It just comes with a lot of experience. It takes a lot of time to be able to understand how fast people are buying. You got to be able to measure all those key indicators, you know. And then also, all right, for example, if you're doing, somebody asked me, how do you know if it's a pullback or if it's a pullback, or if it's a what's it called, or if it's, you know, it's coming down. Well, let's take a look. What is a pullback? Okay, a pullback is something where, you know, where psychologically most people are, they know it's too overextended to a period, I mean to a point, and then they know that it's gonna have to pull back, because in order for it to, because a lot of people will like buy depending on indicators, right? So if you're buying on indicators, it will be a terrible idea for you to buy long there, right? Because the RSI is telling you it's overvalued. So obviously people are just like, okay, so it's overvalued, that means that we're overextended. It just needs to come back down so they could, you know, we can buy some more somewhere down here, and then for the next move up, right? So that's not the only thing that matters, because it could keep getting bought up like it did over here. See that? It just got cut. It stood there for a whole week, you know? That doesn't mean that it automatically means that, you know, but let me tell you how you can tell these things. You look at the EMA, right? You look at this EMA. It's overextended on this, but it keeps bouncing off the EMA every time, right? So that means that the bulls are still wanting it to go up. Now this, what happens is, whenever this does break and it does make a strong slip, it always does, because there's so many people chasing it. See this candle right here? See how aggressive this candle is right here? That's a 15% move in 4 hours. Okay, think about it. That's 4 hours. 4 hours, 20%. That's crazy, right? So that's why you have, I don't really trade these going up like that whenever the RSI is like this, because I know one of these candles, it only takes one candle, it only takes one nasty bear raid, and it's done. And that's what I'm saying. So to me, I avoid these. And see, like right here, this would have been a good opportunity for somebody that was trying to go long, you know, because this would be kind of like a first pullback, and then we're coming back up. This is kind of like a second attempt here. If we break, if we go up and then we break down, I can really see this like massive dump. But since it's earnings, I think it's really going to come down to earnings. Earnings are good or earnings are bad. It just depends. I don't want to hold anything over earnings, so that's the reason I don't. And another thing somebody asked me was, how do you know if it's like okay, on a 4-hour chart, right? How do you know if it's like a bad news? And then, you know, how are you going to be able to tell if you should buy the dip or whatever? I think those things are highly important depending on what is on the dip. I mean, what the stock is and what the news are, right? So I think it's BNTX, right? Yeah, that's BNTX. Let's see, BNTX. So I got BNTX, right? So right here, this is a good example. I don't know what the news is, but I know it dropped 15% in one day, right? Now, almost anything, right? It's an overreaction. A lot of the times it's overreaction. I don't know the news, but if it's an overreaction of something else, this would be a swing. Because I know you're never going to catch the bottom of something. It's just so hard to catch the bottom. I mean, I've caught it once or twice, but it's really, really hard. So what I do is, if I'm going to swing trade something, right, or I'm looking for an opportunity like this, I'll give you an example. How I do it, I buy it in like maybe quarters, or halves. That's how I do it. If let's say the first support failed, I would jump in. I jump in with half precision, right? Then the second time, if it dropped like over here to another support, I'll add some more. And I know that'll make sense. They're like, oh, but that's an averaging down strategy. That's a losing strategy. Yes, it is a losing strategy. But if also, it just depends. If you're day trading it, yes, it's a losing strategy. If you're swing trading it, it's a little different, because I don't know. It just seems to work better for me with large cap. If I do it in splits, because I know I'm not going to catch the bottom. I'm never going to catch the bottom, and I know that. So this is what I do. I would have bought there, and I would have bought also there, and see. And I'm really actually thinking of going into a swing right now on BNTX, because if sold out 15%, it needs to come back. Let me say that it doesn't need to do anything, but it can recover. If it recovers 6-7% or 8, I mean, if it just recovers back to the EMA, that's about 6-7%. That's a solid gain. I mean, that's how I see it. But that's pretty much it for today. That's pretty much it. I'll let you guys go. See you guys tomorrow, more than likely.